Good morning, everyone. This is your mathematics class of grade 8, chapter number 8, comparing quantities, and this is your lecture number 10. In this lecture number 10, I will be covering the leftover concepts of chapter 8, comparing quantities. So let us see today's key points. In this lecture, I will be discussing the leftover part of comparing quantities chapter, that is the concept of compound interest. In comparing quantities, I told you previously also in the previous lecture also I told you that comparing quantities chapter consists of three concepts: percentage, profit and loss, and compound interest. In the previous lecture number 9, we have covered these two concepts. Now I will be covering the concept of compound interest. Compound interest concept I am covering now. So let us see first of all what are the terms related to SI and CI. What is this SI? That is simple interest. What is this CI? That is compound interest. And we have learned, you must have learned about SI in your previous class. So but I will be discussing it once again. So let us see now the terms related to SI and CI. The very first term which is related to both these concepts is principal. What do you mean by this principal? Money which has been borrowed, lent or invested is called sum or principal. What is this principal? The money which has been borrowed, lent or invested is called sum or principal. For example, a loan taken from a bank is the principal. The amount which is being taken as a loan from the bank will be the principal. So in simple language, you can say the money which has been borrowed, lent or invested is called sum or principal. Now what is this interest? First of all, we will discuss what is this interest, and then we will be discussing simple interest and compound interest. Interest is basically the additional money paid by the borrower to the money lender in lieu of the money used. I hope from these sentences it is clear. The additional money which is being paid by the borrower to the money lender in lieu of the money used is called interest. For example, if you have borrowed 1000 rupees from someone, then in lieu of the money used, that is in lieu of using your 1000 rupees, you need to pay some extra amount to that particular person, so that will be your interest. Amount, what is this amount? The total money paid by the borrower to the money lender is called amount. And now suppose you have borrowed 1000 rupees from someone and you need to pay 200 rupees as the interest. I'm just taking an example. Then amount will be 1000 rupees plus 200, that will be your 1200 rupees. So amount will be principal plus interest. 1000 rupees you have borrowed, that is your principal, plus interest of 200 rupees you need to pay, so that will be 1200 rupees. So the amount is given by the formula of principal plus interest. So principal is the money which has been borrowed, lent or invested is called sum or principal. For example, a loan taken from a bank is the principal. What is this interest? Additional money paid by the borrower to the money lender in lieu of the money used is called interest. And then coming to amount, the total money paid by the borrower to the money lender is called amount. Now coming to rate. What is this rate of interest? Rate is basically the interest paid on specified amount for specified period. Specified amount can be any amount, so it is the interest which is being paid on specified amount for specified duration or specified period. For example, rate of 1.25% per month means that the interest paid on rupees 100 for 1 month is rupees 1.25. Rate of 1.25% per month means that the interest paid on rupees 100 for 1 month is rupees 1.25. This is basically the meaning of rate percent. Then coming to time, what is the time? It is the time for which money is being borrowed. Simple as this. So I hope all the terms related to SI and CI are clear to you. First of all, we have studied about principal, then interest, then amount, now rate and time. Now coming to simple interest, what is the simple interest? It is the interest calculated on the original money, that is the principal, at given rate of interest for any given time. This is simple, very simple. It is simply the interest calculated on principal for given rate of interest and for any given time. Let us see the formula of this. Simple interest will be given by this formula, P into R into T divided by 100, where P is the principal amount, R is the interest rate or rate of interest, and N is the number of years. Now let us see compound interest. What is the definition of compound interest? It is the difference between the final amount and the original principal is called compound interest. So how can you find compound interest? That by taking the difference between the final amount and the original principal is called compound interest. You will get to know the compound interest, and first of all you need to find amount. Principal in most of the questions in given to you. In almost every question it will be given to you. So you need to take the difference and get the compound interest. So the formula of compound interest is amount minus principal. Now what is the difference between SI and CI? This is the most important concept you should know. In case of simple interest, the principal remains constant for the whole loan period. For example, if you have taken the loan of say rupees 10,000, then this interest will be calculated on this 10,000 only. But in case of compound interest, and if you are taking the loan for suppose 2 years, I'm taking an example, if you are taking the loan for 2 years, then in case of compound interest, the amount of the previous year will be the principal for the next year. So this is the only difference between the compound interest and simple interest. So what is the compound interest? The difference between the final amount and original principal is called compound interest. Compound interest is given by this formula, amount minus principal. What is the difference between SI and CI? In case of simple interest, the principal remains same for the whole loan period. But in case of compound interest, the principal goes on changing every year. And what is this change? The amount of the previous year becomes the principal for the next year. Now, coming to the formula for compound interest. Formula for compound interest, at the end of N or T, you can take either N or T. For principal P, rate of interest is R% per annum, which is given by the formula. Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. But we need to know this amount. What is the formula of this amount? So it will be given by amount is equal to principal bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power N or T. Whatsoever you are taking, you can take any one of either. You can write N or you can write T. Now coming to conversion period. The time period after which the interest is being added each time to form a new principal is called conversion period. It is basically the time period after which interest is added to form a new principal, which is your conversion period, or you can say the time from one specified interest period to the next period is called your conversion period. Now there are few important points related to this conversion period. Let us see those points. If this specified period is 1 year, that is the interest is being compounded annually. Annually, everyone knows that it is a time period of 1 year. Then there is one conversion period in a year. Simple as this. So if the specified period is 1 year, that is the interest is compounded annually, then there is one conversion period in a year. Now if this period is 6 months, that is the interest is compounded semi-annually or half yearly. We are taking the half of 1 year, that is 6 months. So there will be two conversion periods in a year, and half yearly rate will be half of the annual rate. This will be the effect on rate and time will be multiplied by 2. This we have understood well with the help of examples in the previous lectures. So if this period is 6 months, that is the interest is compounded semi-annually or half yearly, then there are two conversion periods in a year, and half yearly rate will be half of the annual rate. You need to divide the rate by 2 and time will be multiplied by 2. This will be the effect on time and rate. Now if this period is 3 months, that is the interest is compounded quarterly, then there are 4 conversion periods. 4 quarters are there in a year. So quarterly rate will be 1/4 of the annual rate and time will be multiplied by 4. So if this period is 3 months, then there are 4 conversion periods in a year, and then quarterly rate will be divided by 4, time will be multiplied by 4. This will be the effect on rate and time. Let us discuss now the types of questions which we will be covering in this chapter under the concept of compound interest. So here, while discussing the types of questions, I have divided the types of the questions into 3 cases. Let us discuss now case 1, and further in this case 1 there will be 2 parts, A part and B part. Coming to case 1, when interest is being compounded annually. A part is when principal is 18,000, N, that is number of years, is 2.5 years, rate is 10% per annum. The difference between this A part and B part is this number of years, that is N is equal to 2.5 years, but they both come under the category when the interest is being compounded annually. So amount, we know the amount formula is P bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power N. First of all, you need to find, or you need to take this N as 2 years here. And then this amount will be the principal for the next half year. So putting the values, amount is equal to 18,000 bracket 1 plus 10 over 100 raised to the power 2. So here amount will be 18,000 into 100 plus 10 over 100 raised to the power 2. As I told you that we need to calculate the amount for 2 years first. Then solving it further, it will be 18,000 into 110 over 100 into 110 over 100. Then it will be 21,780. And this is the amount for 2 years. Now this amount for 2 years will be the principal for half year. So this will be the principal now for half year. So simple interest formula you will be using now. 21,780, that is P into R into T. T here is 1 over 2. So after solving, you will be getting 1,089. So total amount after 2.5 years will be, this was the amount we have calculated for 2 years, and this is the amount using this formula we have calculated. So you will be adding these two and you will be getting the result as 22,869. So this is your first part, when time can be given to you as 2.5 years, it can be 1.5 years, it can be 3.5 years likewise. Then you need to find the, here in this case, as you must have seen that you have calculated the amount for 2 years, and then this amount will be the principal for the next half year, and then you need to take the total amount, and then CI formula will, we know, amount minus principal. You can calculate the compound interest. Coming to the second part, here the values are very simple. Principal is 10,800, time is simply given to you 3 years, rate of interest is simply given to you 12%, 12% per annum, and the interest is being compounded annually. So simply principal 10,000, N 3 years, time 3 years, rate 12% per annum. Simply you are supposed to put the values in this formula and get to know the amount, and then after getting amount you can find compound interest easily. So this is these are the types, or these are the parts of this when the interest is being compounded annually. Case 1. Now coming to case 2, when the interest is being compounded half yearly. How will you solve it? Principal suppose is given to you as 60,000, rate is 12% per annum, N is 1 year, and we know that in case of half yearly, when the interest is being compounded half yearly, we need to divide the rate by 2 and time is to be multiplied by 2. So it will be 12 over 2, that will be 6%, N will be multiplied by, that is 1 into 2, it will be 2 half years, like this. So simply putting the values, principal 60,000, 1 plus R, that is 6 over 100 raised to the power 2. Case 3, when the interest is compounded quarterly. This you should know, otherwise it will not be asked for your, as for your examination point is concerned, it will not be asked, but you should know the complete concept of this, how the interest is being calculated, compound interest is being calculated when the interest is compounded quarterly. So principal is 60,000, rate is 12% per annum, and time is 9 months. Then how will you be doing? As I told you that in case of quarterly, when the interest is being calculated quarterly, then you need to multiply the time by 4, because there are 4 conversion periods, 4 quarters in a year. So first of all, you have converted into years, and then into 4, it will give you 3 years. And then rate will be divided by 4, so it will be 12 over 4, that will be 3%. And then you know simply this formula. In this formula you need to put the value of principal, rate and time. Let us see now the application of compound interest. We have learned about growth and depreciation, that is the application of compound interest. First of all, we will see growth. Regarding growth, what is this application of compound interest in respect of growth? We know that certain things grow or increase. This is quite natural. So what are the examples of the things that grow or increase? India's population, height of a plant, weight of a child, cost of goods, etc. These are the examples when we find growth, or these are the things which grow or increase. And rate of growth, what is this rate of growth? The growth per year is called rate of growth. If you are taking the growth per year annually, you are considering the growth annually, then it will be rate of growth. You are talking about rate of growth. If the rate of growth is constant, then V is equal to V naught into 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power n, or you can use this formula in terms of amount and principal, where V is the value after n years, V naught is your present value, R is your rate of interest, and n is your time period for which you are considering the rate of growth. So where V naught or P both are at the same position, so it is the present measure of quantity. R percent is the rate of growth per year. N is the number of years. V or A is the measure of quantity after n years. So V or A will give you the future value. This is your present value. And you must have seen in questions of exercise 8.3 that whenever I need to find the measure of the quantity after n years, then I need to find V, and if I need to find the present value of any quantity, then I need to find V naught or P. Now coming to depreciation part, the decrease of the value per year, simple as this. Depreciation means decreasing in the value of something. The decrease in the value per year, if you are talking about, that is your rate of depreciation. Depreciation simply means decrease in the value, and if you are talking about rate of depreciation, it will be considered per year. If you are considering the rate of decrease of value per year, then that will be rate of depreciation. For example, the value of a machine or vehicle, etc., decreases with time due to wear and tear. This is a very common example and very simple example to understand. You can understand very easily that if you are using a machine or you are using any vehicle for long years, then its value decreases with time due to wear and tear. So if the rate of depreciation is constant, then rate of depreciation, we need to find the rate of depreciation. So here in the formula, minus sign will be there. In this formula also you will be taking minus. The formula is same, but the difference is of this minus sign, where V naught or P is the present value, R percent is the rate of depreciation, N is the number of years, and V or A is the value after N years. So this is the application of compound interest, growth and depreciation. We have seen if it is a case of growth, then you need to take the plus sign, then the formula will be V is equal to V naught bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power n. And if it is the case of depreciation, then the formula will be V is equal to V naught bracket 1 minus R over 100 raised to the power. So what is this lifespan? Let us know what is this lifespan. Lifespan is basically the number of years a machine can be effectively used, and after which it is being sold as a waste or scrap. The number of years a machine can be effectively used is called its lifespan. So dear children, I am giving you assignment 1 of this chapter number 8, comparing quantities. Question number 1. Find the compound interest on rupees 50,000 at 4% per annum for 2 years compounded annually. Question number 2 is, if 90% of x is 315 kilometer, find the value of x. Question number 3 says, Avinash bought an electric iron for rupees 900 and sold it at a gain of 10%. He sold another electric iron at 5% loss, which was bought for rupees 1200. Find the loss or gain on the whole transaction. This is question number 4. This is the fill in the blank. That dash is a reduction on the market price of the article. This is question number 5. Likewise, I have given you 10 questions in this assignment. And this is the true false. And dear children, I will be taking your test on Friday. And for this, you are supposed to revise this chapter completely from NCERT book, and I will be giving you the 2 assignments of this chapter. This is your assignment number 1, consisting of 10 questions. So your homework is to complete assignment number 1 of chapter 8, comparing quantities, in your homework notebook. So in this lecture, what we have discussed about the various terms, or we have discussed the various terms related to SI and CI. We have learnt about principal. What is principal? The money borrowed, lent or invested is called principal. We have learnt the definition of interest. The additional money paid by the borrower to the money lender in lieu of the money used is called interest. Then we have read about amount. The total money paid by the borrower to the money lender is called amount. Likewise, we have learned about rate and time. Then we switched over to simple interest. It is simple. It is the interest calculated on the original money or principal at the given rate of interest for any given time. And this will be given by the formula P into R into T. Then we have learned about compound interest concept and the formula to find the amount. And then finally, compound interest, it is the difference between the final amount and original principal. Then we switched over to the concept of half yearly and quarterly, and then in the end we have learnt about the application of compound interest. So dear children, I have given you all the concepts of this chapter in this lecture number 10 and in the previous lecture, that is lecture number 9. So lecture number 9 and lecture number 10 are your summary lectures. So you can revise your complete chapter from these 2 lectures. Thank you so much.